on you. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do.
Hello, Chavaria.
Always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC, closing is better with appointment setters. You better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.
Oh.
We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We've got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Jabari say? In FLC, in FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe me, you have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get cha-ching in FLC. In FLC, since we started training, our leads ain't complaining. They're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We got Coach Jones, Coach Everborn in FLC. All of our coaches, they keep their composure. 10X is the goal, and put you what he knows. We've got the spirit, and you've got to hear it. We're FLC.
Hello, hello. Well done. I say this every time, but I will never get bored of that song. It's always stuck in my head 24/7. It probably doesn't help that we get to listen. We get to listen to it every week. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our FLC Hangout number 8. Oh my God, we've been doing this for over 2 months now. 2 months. I can hear myself on the playback, so I'm gonna get that out. But yes, welcome back, everyone. You may notice we've got 2 special guests with us. So please give a very warm welcome to Tora and Liana, who have decided to, blessed us with their presence on this week's episode. They are 2 OG, I would say very, very OG members of the FLC family. They are both such strong entrepreneurs. They are very active in this space. So yeah, we're really lucky to have them both here with us. So thank you guys so much. And of course, you've got me and Misty, which you will have every week. So please never get tired of us. I can see the comments that this is live. This is actually live. So yes, welcome. Today, the theme we're going to be talking about, and again, like I always say, this is a hangout, so it's not a strict script kind of thing, but we want to touch on it's what Jabari says a lot, which is it's never the lack of resources, just the lack of resourcefulness. That is a tongue twister. It's never the lack of resources, only ever the lack of resourcefulness. Which I think has definitely been a big part of my journey in FLC, like realizing this. So I wanted to kick it off by asking you guys, and anyone feel free to go, when did you most realize this, and where's this most been prominent or helpful in your life or your journey in FLC? Anyone go. You, Misty.
It's been very helpful for me because a lot of I've been around for a long time. I am an OG for real.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you hear different things throughout your life, it takes on a different meaning at different times in your life, depending on where you're at emotionally and mentally. But that phrase just really hit home for me because a lot of times we'll stay stuck in a place because we don't think that we can do something just because we don't have it right here. We can't see it right in front of our face. But in the last several months, probably the last year, I've really recognized how to make use of. I feel like I'm one of the most resourceful people on the planet, and it's like you can't tell me no. There's not a way to do something because I will find a way to do it, and
Yeah.
it's really having a willingness to want to do it and making a choice that that's what you're going to do at any cost. And it's, you know, you finding the resources because they're always available to you, and getting in there, finding them, leveraging, and using that to your advantage, especially when it comes to investing in yourself. Because I believe that your personal growth and evolution is one of the most important things in the world. And if it matters that much to you, you'll find a way to get it done.
Ooh, I love that. It's so true. So true. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Right, what about you, Tarl?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much for having me here on this beautiful hangout. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Misty. You're amazing. And Josie, it's always great to hang out with amazing people. And it's been a while since I've been in these spaces. So I completely resonate with this conversation today because I found myself in this last few weeks in that position. How do I become resourceful? How do I find myself finding solutions for things that may seem out of my control, right? And that's something that we got to keep considering, whether it comes to your relationships, whether it comes to health, whether it comes to money, financial gains, or financial independence, like we are learning here in FLC. And yeah, being an OG as well. I can't say I'm an OG. I still feel new to FLC. But, you know, the thing is that I think that we always bring ourselves amongst people. And I think that is one thing that I've learned is that you got to put yourself amongst people that allow you to see your resourcefulness, that allow you to be solution focused. Because when you are surrounded by people that are, doing average, then that's what you're going to be ending up doing as well, is average, and you won't see any different. You think that that's the norm. You feel like that is where you're supposed to be at. But only when you start choosing differently, when you start placing yourself in different environments where where you're being positioned to change, where you are challenged to do better, to change the way you think, change the way you start doing things as well. I found myself as a procrastinator, and it was something I needed to change about myself. I needed to pay attention that that is something that I have been. It's a habitual behavior of mine, right? And I'm sure many of us have been placed in that position at some point or another in our life, right? So it's not something that's new to our human behavior, but it's also something that we need to pay attention to and then change it up. And just to come back to what I was saying, and it's like in the last 6-7 weeks, I've been having these eye operations, having cataracts done on my eyes, and I was in a position where I was not financially secure to be able to do the cataract operation at home, to where I am with my family, with my children, with my husband, to have that support. And initially you feel like, wow, this is a difficult situation. What am I going to do? Like, I want to be home. I want to be with my kids. But then I needed to I needed to know that the universe had my back and that this is something that was meant for me, and that no matter what it looks like, and you may be facing other difficult situations, maybe you have a different kind of ailment that you're having to face, and you right now sitting there and wondering, contemplating how are you going to go through this, right? And so I feel like we tend to focus sometimes on so many things that's going wrong, but then we don't realize that actually things are actually happening for us, and that's where the solution lies. And when we start doing that, then we realize, wow, I have so many options, I have so many possibilities, and possibilities opened up to me to say, hey, you can do this and you can do this, and wait, you have support here and you can utilize that support. Leverage the things that are around you, leverage what you can utilize for your benefit, because that is the way that you're going to definitely benefit and find so many alternatives and so many solutions. So yeah, I know I went on a rampage there.
No, it's all good.
It's awesome. You're fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
No, that was a really beautiful share. Thank you. And it's so true, and it's very helpful to, I think, probably everyone, me included. Misty, you seem to resonate with. I saw you nodding your head a lot. And
Yeah, well, I can't get Seb's song out of my head. Plus, I'm listening and thinking about stuff I want to say too. So I'm like, dun, 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 you know, but,
aren't we all?
But yes, I do resonate with that a lot because I am queen of procrastination. I'm really good at it. If I could only get paid at being a procrastinator, I would be a multi-billionaire by now, trillionaire. And I don't know about you guys, but I come across a lot of people in my line of work or just in my life general where people rely on their excuses and they don't realize these are excuses. It's not a legitimate reason why you're not doing something. It is an excuse. And recognizing the difference between a legitimate reason and an excuse can be difficult. And for me, that was hard. When I was joining the FLC, I had no idea how I was going to pay for it. I had no idea. I just thought, I got to do this. And that was it. I'm going to do this and I'm going to figure it out. So you have to, at times, think outside the box, think outside the things that you wouldn't usually do. Like Chibaria says, do whatever good it takes. So let's not do anything illegal. Please, we're not going there. We're all about positivity and amazing, wonderful growth. So let's not take a step backwards. We don't want to live inside of a box. We want to live outside the world. But yeah, I think when you're talking about it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. I think it takes a lot of somebody being ready for that mindset, being ready for being open to recognizing, hey, I need this change. This is what I need to, I see this problem here. I need to change that. How do I do that? So they got to recognize it, acknowledge it, and then find ways that are outside of the, unconventional ways of let me find out how to work this. Let me find out how to get this. So we're not staying within those excuses of, or even talking ourselves out of it. I talk myself out of a lot of things all the time. And I think that's where somebody has to be in that mindset where they're ready for that change and ready for that. Hey, let me find out how this is going to work, because I know, like with the FLC, and I'm just using the FLC as, because it's where I know a lot of us are passionate about what we're doing in our businesses, and the FLC really gave us, for me, gave me my start there. And so before I lose this train of thought, it
wouldn't be the first for both of us. This is tradition for both of us, by the way.
Yeah. It's like somebody else talk, it'll come back. But but anyway, what I'm trying to say is when the person is ready and in that mindset, and they're like, I'm passionate about this. I know this is right for me. I know I'm aligned with this. but I can't afford this. See, they're already talking themselves out of it. And they're like, well, I've got to pay this and I've got to pay this. Those are excuses. It's time, if you're passionate about this and you're aligned with this and this is what you really want, like heart, mind, body, soul, this is something I've got to grab hold of. You're going to do whatever good it takes, and you're going to find the necessities or the resources you need in order to do that. And that's basically my whole piece on it. But that's I think a lot of times we talk ourselves out of it.
No, completely. And I actually resonate with that as well, because for so long I wanted to join FLC, but like you said, I just talked myself out of it. Like, oh, I don't have the money. Actually, you all touched on a lot of the things I wanted to say, so thank you, because save my breath. But it's so true. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way. Jabari uses a really great example that if you were strapped to a time bomb and it was about to go off in, like 5 hours, and you're told to go find the money, you're going to find the money because you're strapped to a time bomb. So
your life depends on it.
Exactly. So it's obviously that's kind of extreme, but it just goes to show that you will find a way if you want it bad enough, which is so true. And you see people all the time being like, oh, I don't have the money for that. The next day they're buying a new iPhone. So they found the money for that. So, and if you really know and believe that, and again, I'm going to use FLC as an example, that this is what you want to do, why let yourself get talked out of it? Why would you talk yourself out? Like you wouldn't let someone else talk you out of your dreams, would you? So why are you doing that to yourself? It's kind of, you're just harming yourself in the long run, which I had to really realize when I finally went to do FLC. I was like, absolutely, like, all that's going to happen is I'm going to talk myself out of it. And I'm just never going to do it. So just do it now. And something else Jabari says is do it now and figure it out later, kind of thing, which I love that mentality as well. So yeah, it's so true. If you want something bad enough, do it. Why? Don't stop talking yourself out of it,
I heard, go ahead, Leanna.
No, I was just going to share something because I was listening to what you all said, and it's so powerful because just in these last few months, I haven't been in the best of financial situations, but I'm determined to get my business into the place that I know it's my destiny. It's my birthright. It's part of what I'm here to do. And one of the things that I stepped into was I got trained in world-class speaking. And it was me, the most powerful part of it for me was saying yes to myself at this particular stage in my life, stepping out of my comfort zone in a huge way. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, but I knew I had resources available. I had assets that I could tap into and be able to do it. And so I said yes to myself. And it takes that mindset and that heart set to truly believe in what it is you want to do, to really not worry about where it's going to come from, because it is going to show up. If you're in alignment with it, the universe is going to bring it to you. It's going to bring you all those resources that you need. And even with FLC, I feel so blessed to be on this journey because Jabaria is over and above one of the best coaches in terms of getting out there and putting your gifts, talents, and your purpose and your passion out there for the world to see, because it's about serving. And when you are aligned with all that, the money and everything is going to show up for you. Everything that you need is going to show up for you to be able to serve that purpose. But it takes saying yes to yourself and stepping into a place that could be very uncomfortable, but that's where all the growth occurs.
I wanna Just a second, Troll, just before I forget this, okay? Then I'll give it back to you. I heard this one thing once, and it kind of sounds dark. It is funny, and so I'm hoping I don't butcher it. But it's if you think about it, a crackhead, how do they get their drugs every day? Their crack every day, right? They don't wake up and say, "Hey, I gotta go. I can't do this. I don't have enough money." No, they go out and they find the money to get their crack. And at the end of the whole thing was, let's all be crackheads. Not as if far as let's go out and get drugs, but let's do whatever good it takes to get what we want. If we know we're aligned with this and we know this is our, like Liana says, this is our destiny and this is up for us, let's do it. There's nothing that should stand in your way. You go out and you find what you need to get your job done and set yourself at a higher level than you started. So that's what I wanted to say. Go ahead, Toro.
No, I'm okay. I was just quite intrigued by Josie saying, sharing how Chibaria shares in her conversations when you're strapped, when you have a bomb strapped to you. And I remember this so clearly, and I just wanted to share that. It's like, I think Misty and I shared it on one of our lives as well. We've had a few lives together, and it's been always fantastic to have them and to share all of our thoughts. Sometimes when you sitting with people and you're just having these conversations in flow, it's the time that you actually learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about also what you're learning. And I love how our mentors and our coaches stand in front and say, we are not here just to teach you, but we're also here to create leaders. Because why is that when you stand in the forefront and you start speaking about the things that you're learning, it starts creating a different kind of understanding in your mind. Because initially you'll be taking in information and you'll be wondering, what does this mean? And that's what I wanted to bring about, is when Josie was talking about this, bomb being strapped, when Chibaria mentioned this, and a few times, we always connect with her on Zoom, or we're connecting on Facebook, and she's saying this thing, and I'm going, but really, in this real world, realistically, can you think like you're going to be strapped with a bomb? Like that was the first, that's the kind of thoughts that came to my mind when I heard it at the initial points, right? And when you continue understanding, and that is why I keep saying this, because I feel like people take themselves out of the game too soon. I feel like when people are doing something and then it doesn't seem like that's how it's working out. I mean, initially I was wanting to build a coaching business, and I wanted to do I had this plan of what it's going to look like, but the universe had a different plan for me. And the universe was like, hang on, you still got a lot to learn, Missy. So you got to still, go through the motions of this before you actually make a decision. I know when we started at FLC, and then you have to do this whole, you are given a task to script of what you're going to be creating your business like, right? And I love that. I was like, yes, I got this. I know what I'm going to do. And I was like, ready. But then I realized that in the process of learning that, hey, hang on, things changed. And something about me shifted. And when that shifted, I changed in terms of what it is that I wanted to create. And that's when you realize that you're actually working in synergy with what the universe is wanting for you, ultimately wanting for you to start showing up as. And so that analogy of the bomb then came to my understanding in a different light. And it made me realize that no matter what you plan, no matter how you can plan, and don't get me wrong, planning is great, because especially in business, especially in entrepreneurship, you need to have some kind of a plan. You need to have some kind of a business map, right? But you got to also be available to go with the flow. You also got to be available to say, hey, Misty sent me a message. Hey, Tink, I see you available. Why don't you jump onto this hangout? And I'm like, oh, seriously? Am I going to be doing this? Because my mind is already conditioning me to say, hey, but you need to be safe. You shouldn't be doing this already. Like, you need to still recover. You need to. But at that point in time, if I turned around and said no, then maybe I wouldn't have this opportunity to speak into this amazing experience that I've had. This amazing experience of learning that, you know what, I did have that bomb strapped to me. I was in a position to say, wow, am I going to be living my life like this with my eyesight deteriorating continuously? Or am I going to make a choice to make a difference, to make it better? And I know there's a solution, and I know that I have a financial situation, and I know that, you know all these things. You write all the no's that you know, but then you also have to write the things that you don't know. You also have to write those things down and be available to accept that you don't know that,
And
and
learn it.
learn it, and say, hey, you know what, Dick, I can actually do this. For me, the thought of getting onto a plane without being able to see, without being able to literally look at a page and say, this is where I need to sign this documentation. I had my son and my husband's helping me through applications that I couldn't read, guys. When I went to the doctor in India and I got to her and she's like, how the hell did you get to India? I have no idea. You are blind in one eye, completely blind. I was literally working off one eye, and that eye was also deteriorating at a very rapid pace. And so when you put yourself in a situation, you say, Liana said, uncomfortable. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But it's in that moment that you see your capacity. It's in that moment that you actually start thriving. And those are the moments that it blows your mind, because you like, whoa, did I actually do that? And it allowed me to open avenues that I never thought was possible. Going to India, I knew I had family there. I wasn't really completely comfortable living with them for 6 weeks, right? In my recovery, it wasn't going to be the most comfortable option. But I allowed myself to go. And what happened next is that, people came forward and said, hey, Tink, you know what? I think you need to have a space of your own. So let me give you a space. Let me help you to have that space. And that was like a gift that I didn't even anticipate. So when you're opening yourself up, you're availing yourself up to new experiences, to knowing that no matter what, you still got this. So many gifts and so many miracles start happening for you, that you will be able to, you will be shocked, literally you will be shocked by that outcomes. And yeah, that's something that has been really, I really am so grateful and so thankful that I have been able to put myself in that position. I miss my kids. Granted, I miss them a lot, being away from them for all that time. But I'm grateful that technology was around, that I could speak to them every day, and that they didn't feel this like, oh, this complete hole that somebody is missing, in the day. And so we just have to be available to that. That's the that's the secret sauce, is that be available to it, and then you never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, thank you so much for sharing that. That was really powerful.
Wow.
I know I just learned so much.
I'm so
from that.
grateful that you're here, Toro, and that you're hopefully feeling better. Things are going to get better for you. Just hang in there.
Definitely.
We're not done with you yet. The FLC is not done with you yet. You're not.
Absolutely.
We're going to rope you back in,
Exactly. And Chabari is saying a big aha for her as well. So yeah, I think that was so beautiful. And first, everything you said was so true. And it reminded me that it's okay to be honest with yourself. And sorry, I'm going to turn this light on because the computer light isn't doing it anymore. It's okay to, look at your life and be honest with yourself and where you might not be fully committing to yourself or fully, doing the best thing for you at that time. It might seem like you're doing the best thing and, keeping yourself safe and keeping yourself out of situations that could harm you, as in like, well, I was really scared going to FLC that I'd be spending all this money and it wouldn't work. So, but then, like, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. I had to take a step back and be like, well, how long have I wanted to do this, and how long am I going to want to do this? While if I still don't do it, I'm still going to want to do it. So yeah, that you reminded me of that, which thank you so much, because I feel like a really powerful thing, that just take a minute to look at yourself and be honest and be your own mentor really for a second. Yeah, I think it was really, really powerful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I see Varia saying, hey, Josie, it's great to see you. Yeah, I love this. I'm glad you switched on the light as well.
I know. I was that's the what was making me laugh during that. So thank you, Varia. I was so focused on you guys, and I was like watching you speak, Toro, and I was watching you guys react, and then I looked at me and I was like, oh, you must be. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's so powerful what you guys are talking about and what Toro just shared. And it made me think of there's a chapter in my book called how to get rid of the condition of howitis. And howitis is, how am I going to do blank? How am I going to do this thing? And it can hold you back. It creates overwhelm. And the truth is just taking it one step at a time, and actually taking a step in the first place. I've watched you guys all evolve in the whole FLC process from like the beginning. And it's been the most beautiful thing to me to be able to witness. And oh my God, I'm telling you, I love seeing people step into their power. That's what I'm all about. And overcoming
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've seen your growth, and that is massive. You have oh my God, girl, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Go ahead and continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I'm enamored at all of you guys and the growth that I've seen, and just like I just am so passionate about taking that first step, taking small steps, and knowing what it is that you want to do and not letting anything stop you. Not the money, because a lot of us came up in lack mindsets, which I'm a product of that. But I know that doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve my highest good anymore. It doesn't serve me to stay in that place. So it's about stepping in and doing it. And once you start doing that, all the resources and everything starts showing up for you. And people think that's a lot of woo-woo, but it's not. It's actually the way the universe works, that you're taking action towards that thing that you want to do, that vision that you have for your life. And you're actually showing the universe what it is that you want to accomplish. And the universe will step up in big ways for you to help you accomplish it.
Yeah, remaining open to that. And as long as you have that vision of what you're passionate about and what you really want, this is for you, you remain open to that. And like Eliana says, I keep wanting to say your name wrong. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But as like you're saying, take that first step, then things will fall. As if you're taking that first step and you're remaining open and you're really passionate about this and you're doing whatever you can to make it work, things are going to start falling into place. and it will happen faster than what you think. I have been in FLC almost 2 years, I think, almost 2 years. And I think in November or something, November, December, somewhere around there, will be 2 years. And my dreams are already starting to come true, and I can see it, I can feel it. I know there's massive changes coming, and I'm so excited, which makes it even more better, because the more excited I get, the more positivity I put out there, the more is going to come back to me. So I'm like, yes, 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 yes. But remain open to it. Recognize, is this that I'm thinking, is it lackful mindset, or is it being resourceful? Is it just an excuse, or is it a legitimate reason? A lot of times it's not a legitimate reason, even though we think it is. So just kind of remain open, take those first steps, do like Chubaria says, what is that, dog it? Do whatever good it takes. And things will just start falling into place. And you're going to be like, oh, time's going to go by so fast. You're going to take a step back and look later on, and you're going to be like, wow, a year's already gone by, and look how much changes I've already changed, and how much my life has changed. And now I think differently, and everything's falling into place, and it's becoming easier.
Why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah, why didn't I do this sooner? And then, like you were saying, Josie, if you don't know how to do something, who was it, you, Josie, or Toral, or somebody was saying, if you don't know how to do something, you just start it. Chubaria says it, Master Shri Krishna says it, if you don't know how to do something, start it, and figure it out along the way, or find out later, learn how to do it later. Everything just falls into place. Just be open, just be like, think outside the box. I'm going to do this. Be resourceful.
And I believe that even if you say that, sorry, I hope I didn't cut anyone.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Even if you say, oh, you know what, I should have done this before, or I should have done this earlier, it's never too late. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to create that thought of, you know what, I need to start taking the next actionable step. Because no matter what it looks like, you may be in an environment where, people are saying, oh, well, you know what, you don't want to have your... Personally, I prefer to have my own business, right? I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always enjoyed having my own business, being in the travel industry for 20 years, and being able to know that I can help and serve people and live their dreams through travel. I mean, that has been a joy for me, right? However, it cannot condition me also. If I'm sitting in a situation where I feel like, you know what, I'm having a lack mindset, then I've got to take some kind of action to make a shift, to make that change, so that I don't feel that anymore. If that's the way that you can maneuver and work your energies, then that's how you need to do it. Even if that means enlisting yourself for a job for a little while, it doesn't matter, because you're making a choice to make a change, right? And from there's going to be more and more unfoldings that will be there for your taking, right? And so that's when like what we're sharing about being open, is that's when you start seeing possibilities. You start seeing more possibilities coming your way. I mean, I was in a position when I came to USA in 2019. I couldn't just be at home. I had to go and find a job, guys. And I mean, this is finding a job after 20 years. It's not easy for somebody that has not worked for somebody to say, oh, well, now I've got to go and work for somebody. But I did it. Okay. It didn't last very long because of COVID. COVID came along, and all the contractors were, dispersed off. So I found myself again without work. But the thing is that at the end of the day is, because I was open to knowing that my abundance is always in flow. And that is something that every business person, every entrepreneur needs to bring into their being. Because I always hear a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my friends in travel that have their own businesses saying, business is so bad. Oh, you just don't get proper clients. And oh my gosh, these clients think that we know the whole world. Those are the things that I hear. I mean, travel agents are at the moment sitting and feeling a little bit overwhelmed because now people want to travel and they want to do things, but they expecting this one source of information to know everything, and that person is not going to know everything, right? You and I don't know everything. Even if you are wanting to go somewhere, you're going to go out and get information, or you're going to find resources to gather that information. And it's the same situation. So if you are going to be starting a venture, start the venture, and then you find that you will be able to get the information together to keep you going, to continue on that momentum that you are creating, because that's where you want to be always. You want to always be where you're never feeling like you're taking 10 steps backwards. And even if those 10 steps backwards feels like that because maybe there's something that is in your mind that's conditioned about not doing something, it's actually not that. It's just that you need to be in that position to see, hey, actually I have A, B, and C, and well, actually I have D and E as well as an alternative option. And then you start feeling available, you start feeling in flow, available to being in flow with all that you are creating. And that's what we all do here. I mean, Misty, Josie, Liana, Liana, empowering people. If you want to be positioned in such a way, then you got to also be living that life, right? So we're sharing this because we learning and we're loving it. And that's why FLC is such a beautiful place to be, because we come together and support each other through this process. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. I really resonated with what you were saying there. So I think a big thing that stopped me, and I'm sure stops a lot of people, is the fear of the unknown. I didn't want to start FLC. I didn't want to start my own business because I didn't know how every step of the way would look. But you're really, to be honest, you're never going to know until you actually start. Like you're not gonna look down a path and you're not going to know exactly what that path is going to look like for the whole way you walk down it. You're only going to know as you're walking down it and you start to look around. So yeah, that's a big thing, that it's okay to not know and just do it and figure it out later, which I feel like we've touched on a few times, but it's so true. It's really important that it's, especially if you're a perfectionist, you might want to plan every single detail before you start something, but really you're only doing harm to yourself. Yeah. And something that my dad has always said to me growing up is, don't be your own worst enemy, which is so true. And I think, you definitely are kind of being your own worst enemy, because you're stopping yourself from having that life you really want by doing that and holding back and not going out there to find the resources you need, which are always out there, by the way. Just look hard enough. So yeah,
I guess you hold yourself back from what you hear from other people, and you're like, okay, you know what, that's something that, that won't really go, that won't really gel. Or maybe you're getting information from other people and then they may have a different opinion about it, and sometimes we hold ourselves back also because of that. We feel like, maybe that's not the way, it's not socially acceptable. But sometimes when you're finding resolutions, it needs to be unique to you, because you are unique anyway. You are a unique being, so you're going to come up with unique ways. My dad was like, what the hell, are you going to go to India to get your eyes done? I was like, well, actually in America everybody goes to India to get their health done. It's a state, it's a true thing. And if I was in South Africa, it would be a different situation. But I'm here, and so I've got to see what's my options, and it's unique to America. So why not? It really, you got to be available to your uniqueness. Yeah.
100%. 100%. Right. If it's getting to close to time. Does anyone have any last thoughts or last wrapping up messages to leave with anyone watching? To really hone the message.
Drive it home.
I just wanted to say yes to yourself. I get so excited when I say yes to myself. It is the most, especially at this, because I'm in midlife, and it's so powerful. Like, I've had all these dreams my whole life that sometimes I put on the back burner for other things that I've had to do. But being able to say yes to myself and prioritize myself has opened up a whole new world to me. So once you start doing that, that's a whole nother ball game. And it again, allows the universe to do its work, its magic for you.
100%. 100%. The universe always has your back.
Always.
As we say in FLC a lot. Anyone else? Misty?
I just wanted to say, first I wanted to read Chabaria's comment about is it a legitimate reason or is it legitimate self-treason?
Wow.
So, yeah. Really be aware of your excuses. Are they excuses or are they legitimate reasons?
Mm-hmm.
Be open to new things and learning new things, and be open to trying something new, thinking outside the box, obviously. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, well, it's gone.
It wouldn't be a hangout without that happening. So
Not
we hang out every day because that's.
I know.
I remember what it was. It's when I go, be aware of your thought process of when you're going. For me, I always feel like I'm in more lack mode when I'm going shopping, like grocery shopping or something else. I will talk myself out of stuff or talk myself into something cheaper. And it's like, I really don't like that brand. I like this brand. It's more expensive. And then I sit there and I will talk to myself, okay, Master says treat yourself like VIP. If you want to live like VIP, you have to think like VIP. You have to allow yourself to have that and trust the money's going to be there. So be aware of the way you're thinking. Be aware of where's that lack thinking coming in and how can I change it? What can I change it to? So if you want to be VIP, start living VIP. Have faith and trust that the money's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What these guys said. That was
I love it. The one thing that I must say, when we hang out like this, apart from the incredible bombs that's been dropping, it's so much of fun. It's so much of fun to see that you can resonate with one another, and you find that you actually learn a lot from one another. I've learned a hell of a lot from all of you today, and I'm really grateful for that. And I would like to leave you today to say that when you are in a tough time and you find those creative solutions, that's being resolution focused. That's allowing yourself to take yourself away from the fear. Yeah, fear is there to stop you from your ultimate capacity. It's not there to keep you safe. We get it wrong sometimes, but face the fear and do it anyway. A lot of our mentors say that. We hear that a lot as well. And at some time you're going to probably be going, what the hell? It's fearful. I'm not going to jump off this mountain because I'm fearful of heights, But if you're not going to jump off the mountain, then how are you going to appreciate the view? How are you going to appreciate that you can actually fly and you can do something that's truly incredible for yourself. And not only for yourself, because when you start doing for yourself, you're going to be impacting those people around you. So if you are sitting here and you are saying, I want to do something for my family, for my children, for somebody outside besides yourself, that's fine. That's also fine. But you got to start doing it first for you. Then you're going to see that impact that's going to be created for your family. And that is one big lesson that I've had to learn. That only when I started looking at myself, then only my children decided, hey, you know what? Mom can do this. Why can't I? In this last 6 weeks, they were like, oh man, I miss you so much. You're like my hero. I was like, whoa, what the hell? So
I love that.
yeah,
You should have recorded that one. See, you thought this one time. You thought this. It was, I'm not crazy. You said it.
I was like, okay, I need to leave them more often.
I love that.
Anyway, no, it's fun when you hear that. You hear those comments, and you know sometimes that they emotional or they missing you, but you know that it's something that they see, they view in you, and then you realize that all the work that you are doing is actually really fruitful. It's really truly a blessing. And even when you come back home and you're being nagging towards them, they still love you. That's my little share today. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jan, did you have something? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh
but you
no, I was like totally resonating with that, because it's like breaking generational curses. I know, I feel like I'm the one here to do that in my family. And so when you're carrying it through and you're doing it and bringing it to completion, that's when the others in your family are going to see that, and they're going to pick up the ball where you left off. And, you know, they see the possibilities and opportunities. So I totally resonate with that, Toral.
100%. Yeah, and as our wonderful Seb always says, that fear lies in the anticipation of action. So once you take the action, you'll realize it's fine. It's all good. You're nothing. You're worrying too much, which is what I've always found. And Nancy said something really good in the comments: where energy goes, where focus goes, energy flows, which is also very, very true. So thank you for that one. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much, Toril and Liana, for being here with us.
Thank
It was
you.
so much fun to have you. Everyone go check these amazing entrepreneur, powerful women out. They are so
Like
amazing.
Share all their stuff. They're incredibly huge, amazing women.
Mhm.
Absolutely powerful.
Like we kind of touched a little at the beginning. I want to say what your tribe equals your vibe. So surround yourself with good energy, which is these guys.
Yes.
And you
You guys.
And that one over there.
Thank you. And you. And
I don't know where I'm pointing, but I know I'm pointing at these beautiful women here. And Chibaria, especially Chibaria.
Yes.
Guys,
Chibaria, yeah.
know what?
We gotta get that Chibaria love in there.
This beautiful lady, and I just want to give my gratitude and thanks to you, Chibaria, for all that you do for this beautiful, amazing community that you're creating. I think that this community is going to see some incredible shifts, and we're going to have, we're already seeing a lot of changes amongst a lot of us. And I really want to say thank you so much for everything that you do. Even in those days when it's really tough for you, you still show up for us. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Chibaria.
Woo-hoo! I second that.
Yes.
I third it.
I fourth it. Hey, we all want to be mini Chibarias, as far as, being that passionate, that, hardworking, dedicated, and being able to make such an impact. Absolutely. I am so for being a mini Chibaria.
Someone says, okay, I fifth it. everyone,
There
I'm
you
sure
go.
everyone then will agree with us. All right.
Okay. So are we
On that
ready?
note,
You ready
we-
for the song again, ladies?
ready
Yes.
to bust it out. I'll get your dance
Let me
moves. Are they
rewind
ready?
it. So
Always
we start
ready.
from the beginning.
People in the comments, dance with us, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
If you feel the need, go for it. No
put on your
worries.
dance shoes and let's do
Yep.
the jam.
Can you hear it loud enough?
A little bit louder.
Good luck.
Closing is always easy when
Is that
you
better?
card on you. We role play with them card on Steam. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC.
Oh, Nancy, dance.
Closing is better. Appointment status. You better believe.
I still want to learn how to do the sign language this song, so I
We
can be
work
doing the sign
together in
language.
harmony. We are devoted. That you can quote me in FLC.
It is Seb. Look. Seven. Amazing. That is the Sevenator.
We know there's so much
So creative.
Everyone go call him Sebinator.
for a lifetime. There's no need
He loves it.
concern. Just look at the world.
I think that's a good title for
There's
you.
still some clothes
Sevenator.
and if you face an objection, what would your barrier say? In FLC, in FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe, you have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. In FLC, since we started training, our beats ain't complaining. They're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Day. We got Coach Sean, Coach Everborn in FLC. All of our closers, they keep their composure. 10X is the call, and Coach ULP knows we've got the spirit. You've got to hear it. We're FLC.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you
It's
next.
fantastic.
Yeah. See you next week at the same time.
Yeah. Here we go.